If you are in Heat 1, please start making your way forward. Event 9, men's 100-yard breaststroke, Heat 1. Please start pulling behind the block. Okay, got it. Again, Heat 1 of Event 9, men's 100-yard breaststroke. Let's please start pulling behind the block. We are missing here lanes 7, 8, and 9. If you are in 7, 8, and 9, please start pulling your way forward for Heat 1.
Step up. Announce Heat 1, step up. Heat 1, step up.
And we're off with Heat 1 of Event 9. In lane 2, we have from Ventura County, that's Bart Bluell. In lane 3, from Taos Swim Club, Paul Templet. In lane 4, from San Diego Swim, Mike Freshley. In lane 5, from Mesa Aquatics, Peter Eisenclem. In lane 6, from San Diego Swim, Tom Mitchell. Our winner in lane 4, that is Mike Fresh, stand official time 1:30.75. If we can get Heat 2 to start lining up here. You don't have to hop straight up. You can move your way off to the side. It's not a problem. Heat 2. In the waters, Heat 2 of 34 of event 9. In lane 1 from Mission Viejo, we have John Campbell. In lane 2 from San Diego Swim, Monty Gass. In lane 3 from Mission Viejo, Miles Chidekel. In lane 4 from Wisconsin, Tony Riker. In lane 5 from New England, David Edsall. In lane 6 from Rose Bowl, Michael Farmer. In lane 7 from Wildcat alumni, Clark Yeager. In lane 8 from Puget Sound, Bill Reeder. And in lane 10 from Connecticut, William Traster. Good lead here from John Campbell. Lane 7, Clark Yeager making a move. Our winner will be lane 1, John Campbell, unofficial time 139.17. Heat 3, if we can start lining up behind the blocks. As soon as you're done, go ahead and start inching your way off to the side or hop on up, your choice. Heat 3. Lane 1 from Quicksilver, Christian Joachim. In lane 2 from Ohio, Lawrence Turkle. In lane 3 from Manatee, Gary Fitchin. In lane 4 from Puget Sound, Steve Peterson. In lane 5 from Arizona, Douglas Springer. In lane 6 from Tamalpais, Kenneth Frost. In lane 7 from Tamalpais, Peter Anderson. In lane 8 from New England, Richard Myers. In lane 9 from Montgomery, Roger Leonard. And in lane 10 from Puget Sound, Dennis Sawyer. Our winner out in lane 5, that is Douglas Springer on a finish time of 1:15.92. Heat 4. Lane 1 from CMAC, Mike Sellner. In lane 2 from Rio Grande, Wright Stanton III. In lane 4 from Santa Clara, Sakar Varanasi. In lane 4 from Arizona, Dale Wisely. In lane 5 from Fort Lauderdale, Hubie Kearns. In lane 6 from Masters of the South, Carl Owens. In lane 7 from District of Columbia, Barry Hadan. In lane 8, swimming unattached, Roger Williams. In lane 9 from Memo, James Kennedy. In lane 10 from Trailblazers, Bruce Schroeder. Our winner out in lane 5, that is Hubie Kearns, unofficial time 1:16.05. Heat 5. So we do have about 4 cars that are parked in the bus loading zone at the high school. So you will get ticketed or towed, so you got to make sure you move that quickly. If you have a black Subaru Outback license plate 8 FXP 021 or a gray Mercedes E350 license plate 7K SX 173, or a silver Toyota Camry, license plate 8KQB717, or a black Honda Fit, license plate 8TME133. Again, if you are parked in the bus loading zone at the high school, school is about to, oh, not yet, but there will be possibly a ticketing for that. So please make sure you are out of that area. Again, black Subaru, gray Mercedes, silver Toyota, and black Honda Fit. Please make sure you move that car, find another place to park, please. Thank you. Our winner out of lane 5, it is Daniel Warnchu's unofficial time of 1:20.56. Heat 6. Lane 1 from Conejo Valley, Keith Robinson. In lane 2 from Conejo Valley, Richard Scoggins. In lane 3 from Santa Rosa, John Morales. In lane 6 from Minnesota, Jay Anderson. In lane 5 from Palm Springs, Brian Volpe. In lane 6 from Fort Lauderdale, Felipe Mayer. In lane 7 from Los Angeles Peninsula, Greg Hayes. In lane 8 from Niagara District, Kevin Shea. In lane 9 from Conejo Valley, Bill Marshall. And in lane 10 from the Albany, Jack Hill. Our winner out of lane 5, it is Brian Volpe. Unofficial time of 1:13.96. Heat 7. In lane 1 from San Diego Swim, Peter Kuhl. In lane 2 from Los Angeles Peninsula, David Lynchstead. In lane 3 from Nova, Henry Vehovec. In lane 4 from Quicksilver, David Smith. In lane 5 from Lone Star, Richard Neville. In lane 6 from Crocs, Michael Ham. In lane 7 from San Diego Swim, Gerard Van Hoffman. In lane 8 from Colonials, Brian Kieser. In lane 9 from Southern California, Joseph Patar. And in lane 10 from Germantown, Maryland, Yin Wuxialing. Our winner in lane 5, that is Richard Neville, and a finish time 107.44.
Okay, swimmers.
Heat 8. In lane 1 from Southern California, Mike Chang. Lane 2 from West Hollywood, Mike Fitzgerald. In lane 3 from Fast, Dan Skagen. In lane 4 from Nickel City Splash, Daniel Puscalia. In lane 5 from Renegade, Gregory Otto. In lane 6 from Long Beach, Thomas Shahan. In lane 7 from Las Vegas, Peter Gouch. In lane 9 from San Diego Swim, Keith Woolerman. And in lane 10 from Southern California, Joseph Patar. Heat 9. Lane 1 from North Bay, Patrick Curran. In lane 2 from Manatee, Michael Notaro. In lane 3 from Rose Bowl, Donald Fleming. In lane 4 from Minnesota, Patrick Fleming. In lane 5 from Clovis, John Ramos. In lane 6 from Illinois, Scott Roth. In lane 7 from Patriot, Paul Greco. In lane 8 from Fort Lauderdale, Pedro Correa Marrero. And in lane 9 from Quicksilver, Matt Wen. Our winner in lane 5 is John Ramos on a finish time of 1:17.22. Heat 10. Lane 1 from Connecticut, Gerald Burbank. In lane 2 from Dolphins, Patrick Galung. In lane 3 from Nova, Terry Tongate. In lane 4 from Los Angeles Peninsula, Charlie Rain. In lane 5 from Quicksilver, Tim Cayley. In lane 6 from St. Louis, Paul Morris. In lane 7 from Mission Viejo, Timothy Sutton. In lane 8 from Santa Rosa, Chip Pettibone. In lane 9 from Walnut Creek, Kenneth Halbrich. And in lane 10 from New England, Franklin Mancia. Our winner out of lane 5, it is Tim Cayley on a finish time of 1:11.34. Heat 11. Lane 1 from Mission Viejo, Mike Gibson. In lane 2 from Rose Bowl, Thomas Taylor. Lane 3 from Los Angeles Peninsula, Brian Kelka. In lane 4 from Santa Barbara, Donald Smith. In lane 5 from Rice Aquatics, David Gutierrez. In lane 6 from Mission Viejo, Carlo Travani. In lane 7 from Conejo Valley, Don Smith. In lane 8, swimming unattached, Patrick Wilton. In lane 9 from Wisconsin, Gregory Blommer. In lane 10 from Blue Wave, Daniel Smith. The record on this is 100.64. That might be broken here, and it is. From Carlo Trevani from Mission Viejo. New record here with the 58.98. Heat 12. Lane 1 from Oregon, Tim Wad. Lane 2 from Memo Long Wu. In lane 3 from Rose Bowl, Patrick McKinley. In lane 4 from Rose Bowl, Mark Fleming. In lane 5 from Los Angeles Peninsula, Steve Kirkland. In lane 6 from Rose Bowl, Anthony Kung. In lane 7 from Puget Sound, Philip King. In lane 8 from Google, John Good. In lane 9 from Puget Sound, Brent Barnes. And in lane 10 from Mount Carmel, Kurt Colling. Our winner out of lane 4 is Mark Fleming on a finish time of 111.14. Heat 13. In lane 1 from Long Beach, Brendan Hickey. In lane 2 from West Hollywood, Stephen Wiley. In lane 3 from Puget Sound, David Scott. In lane 4 from Ensworth, James Nadehofer. In lane 5 from Menlo, Daniel Tom. In lane 6 from Mercy Healthplex, Brian McHale. In lane 7 from Oregon, Christian Sellers. In lane 8 from Puget Sound, David Kays. In lane 9 from Santa Rosa, Charles Neidhofer. And in lane 10 from Conejo Valley, Doug Kohler. And our winner out of lane 6, that is Brian McHale on a finish time of 106.09. Heat 14. In lane 1 from Wisconsin, James Fisher. In lane 2 from San Diego Swim, Brian Strape. In lane 3 from Swim Kentucky, James Lube. In lane 4, swimming unattached, Mike Irving. In lane 5 from Colorado, Benjamin Vanderweld. In lane 6 from Mesa, Mark Bagel. In lane 7 from North Carolina, Chuck Graff. In lane 8 from Puget Sound, Christoph St. Martin. In lane 9 from North Carolina, Thomas Hilgen. And in lane 10 for San Diego Swim, Nico Tortelli. Our winner out of lane 4 is Mike Irving on a finish line 102.37.
Thank you, gentlemen. Please enter the pool.
Ready?
Heat 15.
Take your mark.
Lane 5.
Lane 1 from Rose Bowl, Armin Garibi. In lane 2 from Sierra Nevada, Eric Hatch. In lane 3 from Colorado, Joshua Menez. In lane 4 from Nova, Brock Sheila. In lane 5 from Nova, Peter Wu. In lane 6 from Swordfish, Nathaniel Najarian. In lane 7 from Southern California, Nelson Hansen. In lane 8 from Dolphins, Marcelo Cabral. And in lane 9 from Rose Bowl, Matthew Ramirez. And our winner in lane 4 is Brock Sheila on a finish time of 1:10.89.
Okay.
Heat 16.
Take your mark.
Lane 1, swimming unattached, Steven Junian. In lane 2 from Rose Bowl, Ryan Lee. In lane 3 from Rose Bowl, Sean Paxton. In lane 4 from Illinois, Rudy Espino. In lane 5 from Sierra Nevada, Eric Petria. In lane 6, swimming unattached, Brent Wood. In lane 7 from Rocker Racing, Vic Perini. In lane 8 from Cal Lutheran, Philip Golden. In lane 9 from Golden Road, Michael Lucero. And in lane 10 from Lone Star, Brad Harmon.
Did one hit? Because I can't see if that's the no-show, the one.
Yeah, I thought he was a no-show.
I'm looking and I can't tell 2 and 1.
Yeah.
And our winner out of lane 7, that is Vic Perini, unofficial time 107.99. Heat 17. In lane 1 from Arizona, Chad Sauvigny. In lane 2 from South Bay, Ash Anderson. In lane 3 from Illinois, Eric Matkanis. In lane 4 from North Carolina, David Dunson. In lane 5 from Nova, Steve West. In lane 6 from Swim Kennedy, Abraham Solano. In lane 7 from North Carolina, Morton Anderson. In lane 8 from Palm Beach, Chris Tesson. In lane 9 from New Albany, David Wharton. In lane 10 from Lone Star, David Harold. Steve West is hoping to break his record. 56.25 held by himself is the time to beat here. But our winner in lane 5, that is Steve West with a 57.09.
That's kind of how I was thinking I would swim, but maybe I should just go fast. That showed me that's the kind of now I need to go out slow.
Heat 18. In lane 1 from Wisconsin, Bobby Wu. In lane 2 from Surf City, Mark Heskes. In lane 3 from Puget Sound, Carlos Sanchez. In lane 4 from Agua, Ryan Lathram. In lane 5 from Wisconsin, Daryl Stitch. In lane 6 from Nova, Wayne Wang. In lane 7 from San Diego Swim, Mark Farron. In lane 8 from Bulls School, Stephen Gold. In lane 9 from South Davis, Russell Walter. And in lane 10 from Alameda, Rafael Casillas. Did want to make sure we take our time to thank all of the USMS officials, coaches, Nova Aquatics, City of Irvine, and all of the volunteers here to make this meet possible. Thank you all for being here. And our winner in lane 4 is Ryan Lathram, unofficial time of 101.54. Heat 19. In lane 1 from Wisconsin, Brian Bell. In lane 2 from Alaska, Leo Lemelson. In lane 3 from Puget Sound, Scott Campea. In lane 4 from Royal, Val Bagri. In lane 5 from Dolphins, Jeff Cummings. In lane 6 from New Albany, Blake Holden. In lane 7 from Oregon, Kurt Grote. In lane 8 from Ohio, Cameron Rose. In lane 9 from New Albany, Keith Hill. And in lane 10 from Club Tribal, Paul Kilpechik. Oh, we have a great race here. And our winner in lane 6, that is Blake Holden, unofficial time of 57.43. Did want to give it time to give a shout out to our official partners, Phineas Tier, Aquasphere, Green Layer, Tri Swim, Infinite Nutrition, Zelios, and USA Swimming Foundation, as well as Colorado Timing System. There are our partners that help run this meet, and they have a little tent set up so you can pick up some goodies. Heat 20. In lane 1 from Los Angeles Peninsula, David Glassman. In lane 2 from Excel Swimming, Joseph Keene. In lane 3 from Kelsey Piers, Michael Sabala. In lane 4 from Mission Viejo, Matthew Mester. In lane 5 from Mesa Aquatics, Mikkel Steinford. In lane 6 from Phoenix, Emre Aiden. In lane 7 from Rio Grande, Jeremiah Stanton. In lane 8 from Colorado, Mark Nelson. In lane 9 from Southern California, Philip Szymanski. In lane 10 from Silver Peak, Antonio Escobar.
Is that lane 5?
Yeah, 5.
And touching first in lane 5, Mikkel Steinfeld.
I don't know about every day, but it felt way worse. That first week.
Heat 21. In the water is heat 21 of 34 for event 9. Lane 1 from South Bay, Jason Cheney. Lane 2 from Marcia's, Jimmy Song. Lane 3 from Nova, David Miller. Lane 4 from San Diego, Aaron Cooker. Lane 5 from YMCA, Cornelius Qualley. Lane 6 from Rose Bowl, Chad Derlew. Lane 7, Andy Fillmore. Lane 8 from Austin, Dustin Pfluger. Lane 9 from Rose Bowl, Kyle Durow. And lane 10, Goffrey Konopka.
Initially, I thought about keeping it up. After my recovery, no, I never wanted to do it. People make it into a bunch of
And touching first in lane 4, Aaron Cooker.
T21 lane 10 did not finish DQ right on the finish line.
Heat 22. In the waters, heat 22 of 34 for event 9. Lane 1 from Rose Bowl, Tate Uckland. Lane 2 from Swim Fort, Guillaume Filion. Lane 3 from Minnesota, Kurt Wood. Lane 4 from Colorado, Ruben Trinidad. Lane 5 from Nova, Jeff Natalizio. Lane 6 from Michigan, Christian Vanderkay. Lane 7 from Tsunami, Matthew Winfeld. Lane 8 from North Carolina, Thorin Basich. Lane 9 from Ventura, Kyle Power. And in lane 10 from Illinois, Adam Brown. Touching first in lane 5, Jeff Natalizio. Heat 23. In the waters, heat 23 of 34, lane 1 for Illinois, Guido Moret. Lane 2, Andrew Scherer. Lane 3 from New York, Scott Jordan. Lane 4 from North Carolina, Keith Nelson. Lane 5 from Southern California, Brian McAteer. Lane 6 from First Colony, Christian Tinajero. Lane 7 from Little Rock, Serdin Markovich. Lane 8 from Tribe, Brett Keys. Lane 9 from Nickel City, Michael Giancarlo. And in lane 10 from Mission Viejo, Zayad Ramadan. Touching first in lane 5, Brian McAteer. Heat 24.
Take your mark.
In lane 1 from Munster, David Peterson. Lane 2 from Long Beach, Sahit Young. Lane 3 from Sarasota, Kyle Deary. Lane 4 from the Olympic Club, Egan Gans. Lane 5 from Sea Dragon, Alexander Buzuguli. Lane 6 from Dakota, Ronald Henn. Lane 7 from West Hollywood, Zachary Glassman. Lane 8 from Puget Sound, Chris Conroy. Lane 9 from Ojai, Keenan Newman. And in lane 10 from Agua, Edward Haggerty. Touching first in lane 9, Keenan Newman. 25.
Swimmers, take your mark.
In the water is heat 25 of 34 for the 100-yard breast. Lane 1 from Nova, Edward Yoon. Lane 2 from Puget Sound, Eric Peterson. Lane 3 from West Hollywood, Zachary Green. Lane 4 from Rose Bowl, Jason Cohen. Lane 5 from Arizona, Adrian Kirkpatrick. Lane 6 from New Albany, Kyle Morrison. Lane 7 from Tiki Torpedoes, Devin Hogut. Lane 8 from West Hollywood, Eric Nguyen. Lane 9 from Puget Sound, Jackson Rittenhouse. And in lane 10 from Minnesota, Joey Kleinow. Touching first in lane 4, Jason Cohen. Heat 26.
Take your mark.
In the water is heat 26 of 34. In lane 1 from CMAC, Daniel Toberman. Lane 2 from University of Hawaii, Jason Hagee. Lane 3 from West Hollywood, David Banks. Lane 4 from Patriot, Ryan Wolf. Lane 5 from Laverne Brewing, Jake Fisher. Lane 6 from Michigan, Farid Sebati. Lane 7 from Swim, Andrew DeMichaelis. Lane 8 from Santa Barbara, Evan Simoni. Lane 9 from Santa Barbara, Curtis Lynn. And in lane 10 from San Diego, Jeffrey Carlson. And touching first in lane 6, Farid Sapati. Heat 27.
Take your mark.
In lane 1 from Royal, Sharif Aloui. Lane 2 from from New York, Christopher Cowley. Lane 3 from San Diego, Ruben Jimenez. Lane 4 from swim, Rafael Alfaro. Lane 5, Reese Gonzalez. Lane 6 from San Diego, Sergei Kukariski. Lane 7 from Golden Road, Nicholas Korth. Lane 8 from Tiki, Daniel Torres. Lane 9 from North Carolina, Benjamin Buchwitz. And in lane 10 from Tiki Torpedoes, Robbie Morris. Touching first in lane 8, Daniel Torres.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 28.
Take your mark.
In the water is heat 28 of 34 for event 9. In lane 1 from the Olympic Club, Brandon Yan. Lane 2, Kevin Renaud. Lane 3 from Alaska, Daniel McIntosh. Lane 4 from South Davis, Christian Corbett. Lane 5, Hermes Ip. Lane 6 from Montgomery, Wynn Kirchner. Lane 7 from Marcia's, Jackie Chen. Lane 8 from Bearcat, Marlon Sumwaru. Lane 9 from Rio Grande, Michael Perez. And in lane 10 from West Hollywood, Eric Cheng. Touching first in lane 4, Christian Corbett.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 29.
Take your marks.
In lane 1 from Rose Bowl, Jamal Amirian Clips. Lane 2 from Tribe, Jeremy Linneberg. Lane 3 from New England, Alex Mooney. Lane 4 from Kentucky, Shubhrav Gupte. Lane 5 from San Diego, Elijah Silva Valles. Lane 6 from Tide, Nathan Kimball. Lane 7 from Mission Viejo, Daniel Peralta. Lane 8 from Las Vegas, Brent Buff. Lane 9 from Ensworth, Brian Strowinski. And in lane 10 from Wisconsin, Alec Carlson. And touching first in lane 6, Nathan Kimball.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 30.
Take your mark.
In lane 1 from Pegasus, Noah Thompson. Lane 2 from Wisconsin, Jacob Birchfield. Lane 3, John Amos. Lane 4 from Colorado, Eric May. Lane 5 from Golden Road, Patricio Ortiz. Lane 6 from Nickel City, Michael Lee. Lane 7 from New Albany, Andrew Appleby. Lane 8 from District of Columbia, Matthew Gunn. Lane 9 from Quicksilver, Henry Smith. And in lane 10 from Puget Sound, Casey Colella. Touching first in lane 7, Andrew Appleby with an unofficial time of 55.90.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 31.
Take your mark.
In lane 1 from San Diego, Robert Igenfritz. Lane 2 from Tide, Joshua Creeder. Lane 3 from Lone Star, Alexander Garriga. Lane 4 from Dakota, Adam Castigar. Lane 5 from the Olympic Club, Benjamin Kono. Lane 6 from Kentucky, George Greenhouse. Lane 7 from Walnut Creek, Lee Ward. Lane 8 from Fort Lauderdale, Julian Mackerel. Lane 9 from Walnut Creek, Daniel Rico. And in lane 10 from Wisconsin, Joshua Lefebvre. And touching first in lane 5, Benjamin Kono. And that is a new record. Previous was 51.57, beating it by a few hundredths of a second. Congratulations, Benjamin.
Please clear.
Heat 32.
Take your mark.
In the waters, Heat 32 of 34. In lane 1 from Golden Road, Ramon Carriedo. Lane 2, Luke Daly. Lane 3 from Puget Sound, Adrian Chasubel. Lane 4 from Rose Bowl, Alex Hale. Lane 5 from Oregon, Matthew McComish. Lane 6 from Santa Barbara, Kyle Fernandez. Lane 7 from Ohio, Mason Beck. Lane 8 from Munster, Eric Wallace. And in lane 9 from Madison, Brian He. Touching first in lane 7, Mason Beck.
Ohio. Just saying.
Heat 33.
Take your mark.
In lane 1, Casey McQuestion. Lane 2 from Swim Club, Holman Pettibone. Lane 3 from Arizona, Ivan Alexandrovich. Lane 4 from Ty, Benjamin Neubauer. Lane 5 from Munster, Brandon Silver. Lane 6 from Sacramento, Casper Howland. Lane 7 from York, YMCA, Jacob Robinson. Lane 8 from Lone Star, Sean Twomey. Lane 9 from Santa Barbara, Yuki Matsudera. And in lane 10 from Santa Barbara, Michael Camacho. Touching first in lane 5, Brandon Silver.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 34.
Take your mark.
In the water is the final heat for event 9. In lane 1 from Orange County, Doran Papp. Lane 2, Tsubasa Sato. Lane 3 from Golden Road, Orion Vallanas. Lane 4 from Walnut Creek, Cole Welsh. Lane 5 from New York, Niangwo Liu. Lane 6 from Santa Barbara, Benjamin Cable. Lane 7 from Olympic Club, Carl Arvidsson. Lane 8 from SoCal, Masaki Ishizawa. Lane 9 from Walker, Matthew Cooley. And in lane 10 from Mission Viejo, Rami Bechet. Next up is event 11, the men's 200-yard backstroke. There will be 16 heats.
Do we just go or?
And touching first in lane 4, Cole Welsh.
Thank you. Please clear.
Heat 1.